What's going on, gentlemen? This is Windshear bringing you another weapon review of the M16A4 burst fire assault weapon. This request comes from Run Into My Knife, one of my fellow Canadian friends. Thinks this is an underappreciated weapon, and I want to detail the specifics of this gun and show you gameplay, various situations and scenarios as I always do. So I'm going to work my way through these some difficult situations in this gameplay, be showing you a range of clips as usual. Now the M16A4, it is an underused weapon, there's no question. Any of the burst fire weapons in this game for the most part are relatively not quite as popular as fully automatic weapons, there's no doubt on that. With the exception of the AN94, that is. I think that weapon it seems to be pretty popular, and it seems like everybody and their mother is running with an AN94 nowadays, and I might make a video addressing that too here in the future. But the M16A4 compared to the M16A3, of course the M16A3 is the fully automatic variant of this weapon. In terms of the specifics of the stats in those two weapons, let's just go ahead and cover that quickly. According to simthic.com, the recoil on both is identical at 0.26 vertical. To me, it seems like it's more pronounced on the A4, but technically they are the same. The left pull is 0.075 with the A4 compared to the 0.1 of the M16A3, so slightly less left pull with the A4, and 0.3 right pull compared to 0.4 with the M16A3. So it's slightly less horizontal recoil. But what's interesting is the aiming down sight penalty is only 0.1 compared to 0.2. So the M16A4 has technically half the aiming down sight penalty standing and running as well than the M16A3. So technically this is more of a, I guess, a versatile weapon. You can shoot more on the fly technically and more accurately, but you know, with those small of numbers, is it really that much better? I'm not so sure. Now let's talk about loadout with this weapon. Let's take a look at this situation. Now, what would you do in this situation if you did not have the loadout I have right now? I've detailed this before. I've nicknamed this, it's a standard name of this type of loadout, the Masterkey attachment, the M26 mass on the underslung rail. Right there just allowed me to wipe out the entire team, and or a significant amount of them, without even having to use a primary feature of my weapon. Now, ask yourself, if you didn't have that capability, what would you have done there? Okay, we would have fired your primary weapon. Maybe you would have got 2, maybe 3 of those guys if your aim's good. After that, you would have been pulling out the pistol. But also, would your weapon have been suppressed or unsuppressed? So really, you know, you ask yourself, how much surprise capability would you have had in that scenario? Probably not all that much, and that's why I think this loadout's the best combination. And I would translate this directly to the M16A3 as well. Having that M26 mass attachment on this gun really increases your versatility in close quarters combat, because assault weapons are just so limited with their ammo capacities. Let me slow down this clip. Check this out. 1 shot, 1 kill. Again, 1 shot, 1 kill. 1 shot, 1 kill. So just decimating the team there again. I'm not even having to rely on my primary weapon, but I can quickly switch to it, and I got 30 rounds in a magazine to dish out a lot of damage. So think about that. What about when somebody catches you off guard here on the surprise? Let's check this out. Putting down guys, kind of looking up here in front of me. All of a sudden I realize that there's a guy to my right. And he wipes out my teammate right there. Take some cover quick, pull it out real quick, boom. I missed the first shot, but the second one counted. So 1 shot, 1 kill again. Really makes you a deadly force, and just increases exponentially your capability with this loadout. And again, I strongly encourage this loadout on just about any weapon you can put this M26 mass attachment on, whether the M16A3, any kind of underslung rail. The G3 is a good example as well, and particularly on this weapon in particular. If I get back to the particular of the M16A4, the A4 with the burst fire capability, it sucks at close range. You will get your ass handed to you by a fully automatic M16A3 or an AEK, something like that. Now you can see I'm testing out a range of loadouts here with this weapon. In this clip I've got a grip on this. Here's a failed knife attempt. I was trying out all aspects of it. Some people encouraged me to try a flash suppressor. You saw in the first clips there, I was running a full suppressor on the weapon. I don't like suppressors. I don't like how they nerf your range, your bullet velocity, your damage drop off, all that stuff. I don't like them, but they do kind of increase your survivability for staying stealthy. You can't underestimate that. I've always emphasized that with the AS-FAL as well. And I also tried it with the heavy barrel as well, but of course the heavy barrel will increase your vertical recoil. So in terms of what I recommend in terms of the final barrel attachment, I really can't give you a determination. I'll allow you guys to light up the comments section here and give your 2 cents in there. I know a lot of people I've played with really encourage the flash suppressor to kind of mitigate the vertical recoil of this weapon. I did try that. I was like, okay, it's not bad. I did pretty good with that loadout, I'm not gonna lie. The suppressor seemed to do pretty decent on, but I did notice it nerfing my damage quite a bit. But the heavy barrel seemed to be pretty good as well. I really like the ability to reach out and look at this clip. I left this in here. Yes, that is 3 kills with the MP443. I thought that was pretty impressive. I even found benefits in the heavy barrel because, of course, that increases your range, it reduces your bullet drop off, and also increases your bullet velocity. So where this weapon shines in its technical capabilities are at these kinds of ranges. Medium to long range engagements. More so heavily, I would say, a medium than medium to long. It's just long range, that burst fire really kind of, that recoil that is, really kind of affects the weapon's capability, I've noticed. I didn't feel like having a grip on this weapon really reduced any kind of accuracy with it, aimed accuracy. I actually kind of liked having the grip on it. Because again, I don't like any kind of horizontal recoil in my weapons. I know it gets you a little bit of aimed accuracy penalty, but here again, nice little headshot here as a pull off here with that grip. I mean, maybe it's just a, it could just be a psychological thing with me, but I really find out that sometimes the grip's not necessarily that bad a lot of times with this weapon. But I'm going to show you some clips here coming up. Again, you know, I feel like I'm reviewing the Masterkey attachment, the M26 mask, more than the actual weapon here in this footage, but I really wanted to hit this home and emphasize how little I see this on the battlefield. You guys really need to be aware of what that capability does. Now, I know you're giving up your medic kit in the assault class, and you're giving up a lot for that, but also think about how many times you'll come up across enemies at close range. And look at this little pillbox right here. Great position to put yourself in to kind of give yourself some vertical, you know, give yourself some elevation advantage. You can see 360 degrees from up here. You got a little bit of cover, unless somebody whips out a bipod on you. But don't forget about those little, I don't even know what you call them, those little guard towers. Great little capability here. Last few clips here, I'll wrap up on Operation Metro again. Lots of close quarters combat in this map. Even when you're playing Conquest or Rush, a lot of times you'll get in those locker rooms, or you'll get around behind the team on a flanking staircase. You only got 30 rounds in a clip. You're not going to do that much damage. So having that quick access to the shotgun, the undermount shotgun, will really allow you to put down 2 to 3 more enemies, and in addition to the 2 and 3 you're already putting down. So you're basically talking, you have almost support class type killing potential with this loadout, with that being compared to support classes in their large magazine capacities. Right there, quickly assessing from the top to the bottom. Even though that guy was relatively close range, I was still able to put him down with the primary burst fire method of this gun. You're pushing up here aggressively again, just putting them down there, right there, and I almost pull off about 2 more right there with 1 shot, but unfortunately this didn't work out. But nonetheless, good capability with this loadout again. Close quarters like this, I mean, in those staircases, with the burst fire gun, I'm sorry, with the M16A4, you're just not going to be capable of putting down enemies in these situations. So that's why I really encourage this loadout on this weapon. But overall, I think this is a good weapon. The M16A4, I think, certainly has something to bring to the table that's unique compared to other weapons, kind of like the KH-2002. Although I think this weapon is hands down better than the KH-2002, because that reload time is just abysmal, the 2002. Look, again, this predicament where you got an enemy nestled in here, you don't want to mess around a long time just shooting bullets, spraying and praying. Just make it a 1-shot kill with a shotgun. They can stand a chance on that. And it looks really cool, you can't lie, and you cannot deny how cool this loadout looks on this weapon. Quick reload time, as I mentioned before, I think it's better than the KH-2002. I'm trying to think about what other burst fire weapons there are to really mention in this type of loadout, other than the AN-94. You know, everybody's kind of saying the AN-94 is a better gun or the best gun in the game now. I've played with it personally. I think it's a great gun. I put out a review of it. I think it's good at a very versatile weapon. I think it's good at all ranges, but does it really shine in these types of scenarios in close quarters? No, it doesn't. Yeah, I know you can spam that trigger, and forgive the excessive teabagging, guys. I was maybe I wasn't acting as mature as I should have been. Look at this right here. This guy had an M26 mass. He missed. I turned on him, one shot. That was it. I'll finish this guy off with a grenade. He was bipoded up all match. So, and also to mention on the A94 is that it does not have the underslung rail capability like this does. In other words, you cannot directly attach the M26 mass to the A94. So, I think the only thing you can attach to it is an M320 grenade launcher. I'm not sure on that. I think they kind of patched that, but I'm almost 100% positive you can't put the shotgun on it. And this guy, I was returning a favor as well too. He was really getting on my nerves, camping and all that. I don't know what he was doing with the crossbow. I don't know what he thought he was going to do in that range. So this video is wrapping up, guys. Please like and subscribe the video if this kind of opened your eyes to this loadout. If there's anything I want to emphasize besides the M16A4, which is a great weapon, again, very solid at medium to long range, lacking in short range. But you make up for your shortcomings by adapting your loadout to meet the needs of whatever match you're running in. And having this Masterkey loadout, as I saved my buddy there, is just incredible to your survivability and your lethalness in this gameplay and in this game. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll have more content to